Greetings to my fellow messed up mechanics. We're back at it again. The mistress, excuse the shade, it's snowy outside, so the glasses are a little jacked up. But at least I can still see. So, that being said, 79 Trans Am, and give you a little background real quick. When I bought the car, it had a 350 out of a Chevy C10 in it. The wiring harness was a complete mess going to the engine. It's still currently a complete mess, which is why I've had to do as much research as I did over the last few days. And I'm going to show you what it was I came up with, and if I can shed some more light on the subject here, I'll show you what kind of a wiring harness mess this is. So bear with me here a minute, and we'll show you. So now hopefully you guys can see this as well as I can. So you got multiple wires coming to that junction there. And then you've got wires that were just completely cattywampus. I don't know what in the world these guys were up to here, but they kind of spliced where they could. They did whatever. It's just a complete mess. I mean, how can you put a wire in a car like that? So, needless to say, I did some research, and excuse my shaking, it is probably all of about 30 degrees out here right now. And I'm doing it in spare hands. So, let me show you what I'm dealing with. Alright, so what I did was I got the shop and body manual for the 79. This diagram is actually from, it says 78, 79 is what comes on the disc. This is actually the diagram for the 78, but it is a 403, so it's basically the same setup. It gives you color of the wire, purple, the gauge, shows you where everything's coming and going. It shows you the fusible links. It shows you the block up against the firewall where everything's going to, oil pressure switch, AC line, which I don't have AC in this car, so it shows you the alternator here. So you got all your lines coming off that. Your temperature switch. And the one thing it doesn't show is, oh, there it is, the distributor up here. So I've got pretty much everything done. I've got some labels that I just printed out, and I was going to start replacing all this wire, but I think for right now, since I don't have all the wire, I am going to do the best I can with it just to be able to crank this motor over and make sure that everything is going to crank and move the way it's supposed to. So in the meantime, oh yeah, I still got to put the alternator and all that back together again, which, let me see. There we go. Here's a good diagram of it. Thank God for iPads, right? So, if you've ever wondered what the diagram is for 78, 79, 403, which this spacer here I actually had to get. I couldn't find an actual 2.5-inch spacer, which is what that one is. So I had to order two 2-inch spacers, and now I got to cut the one that I welded together down. So I actually, the two that I bought, I welded them together, and now I got to cut it down so it fits in there correctly. But shows you pretty much everything. All right, guys. Let me get some stuff done here, and I'll show you what I did. All right, quick update. So I got the oil pressure line here. I got one of the alternator lines here. That one's showing brown. Brown actually goes to the AC line, which I don't have, because I don't have an AC. I got distributor to the firewall, coming to the junction. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually waiting on a junction box to show up so I can eliminate this mess. So I will terminate all these, put them all in the junction box, and probably mount it right here on the fender, just to try and clean all this mess up a little bit so I can reroute, run wires the way I want them so it's not so messy under there. The HEI distributor, that's it lying there. Now, mind you, I'm going to be replacing most of these wires. This is literally just so I know what's plugging in where when it comes time for me to crank this thing over. So, anyway, that's pretty much about it for today, guys. So, if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments. Let me know. I do reply. Otherwise, that's it. See you.